There's a video circulating now on the internet by a comedian called something like, "Why Jews Are Better Off Without an Xmas Tree." And this is a 3.5-minute video, which is on one level quite funny, about all the details that Jewish people, particularly rabbis, would have brought to bear on the tree. Would have been a question about how to cut the tree, how tall the tree could be, what happens if a part of the tree breaks off, how to get it in your door. There would be, this comedian said, a tractate of the Talmud called Masechet Ha'etz. There would be a whole tractate about it, about how you have to string the lights, all the lights represent the Jews. And of course it was on one level, very funny. On another level, I noted that the person who was giving this talk didn't have his head covered. Maybe his yarmulke fell off. Maybe it fell off right before the sketch. Maybe it fell off some years earlier. Maybe he went to a Jewish high school and day school. Maybe I have relatives who know him growing up. And maybe over time, there's been a little bit of a distance. And I think about it specifically, and it's apt that it should be around the time of Chanuka and a time of another holiday of another religion. There should be discussion about what would happen if there was some kind of blending of the two. But you know what it means? That every single person that I'm aware of in our community has a privilege not just to do the mitzvah ner ishu beito, but davka to do the mitzvah, not just Mehadrin in a choice fashion, but Mehadrin mina Mehadrin. The super best way to do it. All you need is the 88-cent box of candles, and you're golden. And you light 1 and 2 and 3, and every night to add. And tonight's the night of Malim B'Kodesh Ve'in Moridin. The first night, whether you're rich or poor, so poor you can only afford 1 candle, so you can light 1 candle. It's the first night. The second night, now we see who has the status, if you will, the ability to do Malim B'Kodesh Ve'in Moridin. You know why there's so many tractates in Shas? 36 tractates of Gemara. The Bnei Yissaschar notes the 36 candles that we light. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 all the way up to 8. By the time you get to the end, you've lit 36 candles. It's as against the 36 tractates of the Gemara. Because we're trying to remind ourselves that God cares. God cares about our mitzvahs. And God cares about our details in our mitzvahs. Mehadrin min Mehadrin means I'm not just doing the mitzvah, but I want to do it in the best way possible. So Chanukah is the holiday where, so to speak, the sages of blessed memory scoop down and reach the Jew who's very, very low, maybe very far away, or who maybe on a certain level formally is close. But over time, things slide. Like going instead of 1 to 8, it's been going 8 to 1. And the level of ruchnius that's left in the person, level of spirituality has dwindled. So what happens on Chanukah? Here's a little box of candles. Everybody can participate and participate on the highest level. You can do it, I can do it, every Jew can be a part of it. But there's something over here to consider. That there's an element here in the Pirsume Nisa that is bound up with the Mehadrin Mina Mehadrin. In point of fact, Nahare Kedem, the Rav points out that the question of the Beit HaLevi, his great-grandfather, Rabbi Yosef Dov HaLevi Soloveitchik, known as the Beit HaLevi, the grandfather of Rabbi Yosef Dov Soloveitchik, who we know, Rabbi Joseph B. Soloveitchik. He wanted to know why Ner Chanukah, more than any other mitzvah, there's this obsession with Mehadrin, Mina Mehadrin. You could find perfect Jews just saying, we just want to do the regular thing. No, they fulfill the potential. And if you look at the Rambam writes it, he actually says, Mitzvah Ner Chanukah v'tzorech Adam, he writes, Lizayer ba kidei lehodia hanes, ulohosif b'shevach hakel v'hodaya lo. And what's the idea here? That within the Hodaya, within the thanksgiving of God, in the addition of the candles, is more and more of an element of Hidur, and more of an element, therefore, of Pirsume Nisa. Why is this page of the Shas so concerned with every single little detail? Because we believe God cares about our mitzvahs, and that when Chazal ordain mitzvahs, then God cares about those mitzvahs. So, as the question was posed, I heard it with my own ears. To Moiv Rabbi Varn Lichtenstein, Kadosh Baruch Hu really cares about whether I do this little detail of this or that aspect of a mitzvah. Rav Aaron would have the same answer every single time. Say, well, I guess it depends how big a God you envision. Because if God is infinite, and if God is eternal, then God does not have a limit in how much He cares. And how much He cares about every individual Jew's mitzvahs, and what they mean, and how they matter. And that's why every time there was any phenomenon in realia, the sages of that era sat down and said, okay, how do we do this in a way that connects this activity, whatever the this is, from the bedroom to the boardroom, from the child who is just born, all the way up to the grave? How do we make sure, how do we connect this to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has something He wants us to do. To know that is to understand how Ner Chanukah is what the Rambam calls in these halachas, Chavivahi ad me'od. This is such a precious mitzvah for Jews because it's so easy to succeed. There aren't any prohibitions on Chanukah, really. No prohibitions on eating, no restrictions on activities, really. Okay, 30 minutes during the candles being lit, take a break. So we're trying to take a break from technology, 30 minutes, just to clear one's head after you light the candles. But it's so easy to be so successful, and hopefully it becomes inspirational. Masechet Ha'etz, I don't know if there should be or shouldn't be. There shouldn't be such a thing, certainly from another religion. But the idea, the concept behind it, only lends itself to cynicism when we've detached the world of mitzvahs from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When we connect the world of realia, this world, the high alma, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then everything matters and everything is meaningful. How do we know what that everything is? Oh, for that we look to guides, to the Torah HaKadosha, Torah Shebichtav, and the Torah HaKadosha, Torah Sheba'al Peh. And we look to this beautiful Yontif as a great springboard, even in the dead of winter, to bring us to a place of Malin Bakodesh, to raise up ourselves, and hopefully our families are by it, each one respectively their house, and hopefully our community by it, and hopefully the whole house of Israel, Kol Beit Yisrael, through the lighting of the lights. And in fact, to actually take care of the details, because God cares. And we knew that and learned that anew on the holiday of Chanuka in Artzeinu HaKadosha in Eretz Yisrael. And we should continue to hold that message fast and close by in our hearts and souls and minds in the days ahead.